If you've ridden one of the open class two-strokes, you know they'll wheelie in any gear. They got mountains of torque. We dynoed an 89 500 and had more horsepower and torque than my dad's $20,000 YZ 500 4-stroke. Yeah! There's Chris, he hanging out the window giving him the thumbs up over that jump off the concrete pad. This is from Chris's era in the early 80s. Headlight and taillight work perfectly. Your rider at night. In Connecticut, you can actually register this bike without turn signals. They're not required. Most states require signals, but you can actually register this and ride it to work, rip out on the trails. This is an absolute hooligan machine. It'll definitely outclass any car on the road, at least for the first few hundred feet before it runs out of gear. Fighting for traction there. Ground's a little frozen like I said, but these are all the original plastics on the bike. Original tank. Original wheels. We just put new tires on the bike. Doing a little slow race.
This thing's an absolute blast to ride. It's got a lot of torque. Just crack the throttle in third gear, low RPM, front end comes right up. What a beast. I think I gotta knock it off. I gotta give the lawn a break here. Tearing up the lawn. Hey, you got enough for riding down here? Yeah. Want to bring it inside now?
Yeah, let's do it. Can I ride up on it?
seems to have a lot of power. It's got 450 pounds on it. It'll crawl right up the side of this hill. No problem. Two up. From the New England Motorcycle Museum, and this is one of my favorite all-time enduro bikes, the Yamaha IT490. This is the first year, 1983, of the big bore 490. There were 465s before this, and what a fantastic machine. Borrowing the suspensions from the YZ, it's running 11.8 inches of 43 millimeter Kayaba forks and 11.8 inch in the monocross rear with aluminum swing arm. Yeah, the best suspension made, Kayaba. Fantastic riding bike, and I'm 53 years old now, so nothing like 6 inches of foam cushy seat and 12 inches of travel to make riding a vintage enduro bike palatable. Heck, I would ride this through a 2-hour hair scramble, no problem. This thing came from the collection, a local collection out of Bristol of 10 bikes, mostly Yamaha enduros. This was the crown jewel of his collection. We just saw the IT200 that we sold last week. He owned both of those, bought both of those bikes brand new. He rode the 200 a little more because he was a little smaller guy, and the 490 was a bit much. This is a very, very low hour 490. We believe it has somewhere between 12 and 15 hours ride time on it, and I'll show you why we believe that in a moment, other than the fact that the thing's in beautiful original shape.
And the original front tire was
Yeah, oh yeah, it had the original front tire on it. It had a
little dry.
Yeah, it was we replaced the front tire not because it was worn out. We replaced it because it was 36 years old. So this 490 model, Yamaha's won a lot of championships with this in enduros and hair scrambles. They went neck and neck with Husqvarna. The engine is very similar to the YZ 490. They lowered the port timing on it. Has a very low compression ratio, a 5.6 to 1 compression ratio, and they lowered the exhaust port on it, so it's very, very torquey. Come around this side here. I want to show you the energy induction system right here. This is the Yamaha energy induction system that evens off the intake pulses. Is a tube that goes to the intake, and on a two-stroke it gives it a much smoother power delivery. So in third gear, you're doing 1500 RPM, you crack the throttle, the thing just has a mountain of torque. These are known for being extremely torquey motors. Wide range transmission. Kenny's pointing out the original toolbox with original factory tools is in there.
Say Yamaha on them. Even the plug, that was pretty cool.
Yep, and pretty remarkable that the actual original tool case is in mint shape. As is the original seat cover. Look at the seat cover. Remarkable. In fact, this has the original handlebar grips on it and the original bars, which is something any decent woods riders know. The first time you hit a tree or drop it, these bars are toast. They're perfectly straight, as are the levers, and also the original rubbers, the original wire tie on the handlebar. Everything's 100% original up here. So original fork gaiters, which is remarkable, 36 years old. The front rim has a nice shine on it. Doesn't look like it's been dragged through the mud much, as do the spokes. The fork lowers are in beautiful condition. The way it runs speaks for itself. It runs like a brand new motorcycle. The engine is in beautiful shape. The engine cases are nice. The exhaust is in good shape. One little ding on the front of the pipe, very common. The rear wheel looks great, rear swing arm. Check out these peg. The peg is not bent at all. I mean, these are steel pegs, one huge triple jump or one casing on a rock, and these would be bent down. They're perfectly straight. The only thing I check on an enduro bike is the frame rails. This is a clear, surefire way to tell the condition of a frame if it's been dragged through. There's not a single ding on this thing. The guy who owned this was a trail rider. This bike's never been driven through the rocks. It's never been hammered off a jump. There's not a single ding on the frame rail. Check out the other side. I would say this is probably one of the nicest 490 frames in the country because most of them got hammered to pieces. This side also, mint condition. Not a single dent in the frame. It's perfect. The peg on this side also in mint condition. Back to the basic chassis itself. This bike is a 3.6 gallon tank, so you can pretty much ride it all day long. It's a low compression motor. It's with the right gearing, this thing will do 100 miles an hour. Just change a couple tooth on the rear sprocket. This thing will do 100 miles an hour all day long down the Baja. This one has a plate on it. It was registered for the street in Connecticut, so check with your DMV how that works there. Every state's different, but at one point it was registered and ridden on the street. So low compression motor, low stress motor, 5-speed wide ratio transmission. The 5th gear is in overdrive. The original rear sprocket is on here. Check out the rear sprocket. The rear sprocket's got 75, 80%. I would typically go through three sprockets a year on my YZs. This is the original sprocket. The original rim's in great shape. These are the original decals on the swing arm. I mean, it also has the original Idiot decal up top here. Check this out underneath the license plate. The original rear fender looks great. Lights work. This is a very expensive piece. Price one of those online. They're really hard to find. I think it's like a $80. I bought one for the last one, 490 I had. We put a brand new chain on it. The original chain was a little rusty looking, a little crusty, and the chain's like $35 item, so we just put a brand new one on there. Engine cases are beautiful. We went right through the bike. First thing we did, we took the gas tank off, rinsed out the old fuel, put a brand new fuel petcock on it, a brand new fuel line, took the carburetor off, put that through the hydrosonic carb cleaning tank, and then manually cleaned the carburetor internally, and cleaned all the jets out, and then put the carb back together, put it back on, took the air box off, cleaned out the air box, put a brand new air filter on it. So new air filter, air box is clean, the carb is rebuilt, tank is cleaned out, brand new fuel petcock, and new fuel lines. So brand new spark plug, ran into compression check, it checked out OEM original. Even the springs on the exhaust are in great shape. The exhaust did have one crack on it previously. The previous owner had it welded. Very typical on the weld right here from vibration. They would crack, so he had that welded. So it might have had something to do with the little ding it has right here. I don't know. But just a fantastic bike. Runs great. Nicest 490 we've had through the shop in years. So we had a pretty nice one that we have on our channel a while back, but not this nice. The IT200, we auctioned that one off. No reserve auction. Sold for $3,600. I would say this is worth substantially more than that, being a big bore. One item on the bike that is not original, but is a OEM Yamaha item. This is the last NOS 490 fender in the country. The IT200 we had a different color front fender on it, and so I took the original 490 fender off of this, which is the same as a 200, and put that on the 200, and I put the brand new NOS one. The original fender was just as nice as the rest of the plastics, but I put that one on the other IT200 we have if you want to see what that looked like. So this is a brand new NOS fender. It's as good as it gets. The original headlight works great. It's got new graphics on it with the number ones on there, new tank graphics. This is the original 490 graphic, just to give you an idea how cherry this and original is. The original 490 sticker, which with a pair of boots on, that'll rub off in a mud race like quickly. This thing's never been in a mud race. The original sticker on the shock is in great shape. Again, look at the seat cover. One season, and these paint letters would be worn right off. That's the original 36-year-old seat cover, and it's in impeccable shape, as is the seat foam. Shifter's nice and straight. Starts right up. Runs like a bear. Kenny, is there anything you'd like to add?
No, I went for a quick rip.
Yeah, you wrote it also.
Yeah. I warmed it up for the video and took a rip around the facility, and the thing barks. Definitely doesn't disappoint, and I think what a lot of the open class two-strokes are missing, the headlight and tail light, this one you could take right out on the railroad tracks in the night and go for a rip. And in most states you can register it and go out on the road, ride it to work, and dip out onto the trails if you're getting chased.
Again, thanks, Kenny. I want to point out the grips. Take a close look at these grips. See the original 36-year-old. Very, very rarely do you see an 83 off-road bike with the original grips on it. You know, the first time you drop it, they're torn up. This bike's never even been dropped. Look at the grips are in mint shape. The one little divot on the front of this grip here, but that's not from falling over. That's just from age. So just remarkable. Levers and bars are perfectly straight. The original tank on the bike, which is on here now, has a little bit of a patina on it, a little bit of a yellowing, very common a discoloration. We tried a couple different methods, the plastic renew, a few other things. We couldn't change the color of the tank. That's just the way it is. Clark Manufacturing offers a reproduction tank in the matching light blue of the front fender. You can pick up sky blue. Yeah, if you want this thing to look brand new, pick up a Clark tank, slap it on there, and
bring it to the motorcycle show, or bring it to the Baja 1000, or ride it to work, or whatever you want to do. Enter it in an enduro, vintage enduro, or a hare scramble, or a J-Day race. It's ready to go. Again, a little bit of discoloring on the tank. The original front brake cable has a little bit of the cover on it over here is a little bit, has like a plastic cover on it. It's a two-layer cover. The top is a little bit peeling, so the fork tubes are a little bit discolored. But other than that, she's an absolute beauty.
You definitely won't find another one. These open class two-strokes are, well, increasing in value rapidly because they're becoming so hard to find. So whoever owns one now knows what they have, isn't selling it or asking all the money for them. You can find these in private collections, but find one for sale today. This is probably the nicest one that'll be up for sale probably in the next 6 months. So
certainly we haven't seen one this nice come up in the completed listings or anything recently. So as far as the big bore two-stroke values, we just auctioned off my 86 CR500 this summer at a no reserve auction that sold for over $6,000. We auctioned off my 89 CR500, and that's on our YouTube channel. That bought $10,500. The two-stroke, big bore two-strokes are going through the roof. We just sold a YZ490 with a seized engine, needed a complete engine rebuild, and that bought well over $2,000. So with a blown motor. So this bike here, motor's mint, low hours, ready to rumble. We'll let the market determine what she's worth, but I'd say she's easily worth north of $5,000. We'll let the market determine what the actual value is at auction. So good luck bidding on her. This would make a great Christmas present for the big bore two-stroke lover or for yourself. And it's on display in the New England Motorcycle Museum today. A couple of things we did. We put a brand new set of Maxxis tires on here. Take a look at this. Just the only time on these tires is us riding it around the yard. Come around this side here. These are the Maxxis Max Cross tires, the yellow label on the side. Just a beautiful set of tires, brand new. They hook up like crazy. Even the ground's frozen outside now, still hooking up, which on the original tires that wouldn't happen. Front tires, so the tire and tube on the back is brand new. The chain is brand new. The axle's been greased, and the brake pads have been cleaned and adjusted. So you got new tire, new chains, new front tire, new front tube. Look at the front tire up close. That's another Maxxis matching Maxxis tire and tube. So new oil filter, new air filter. There's no oil filter on this. New air filter. Everything's been gone through on the bike and adjusted. All the bolts are tightened and clean. It's ready to go for another 36 years. So good luck bidding on this. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. And God bless America.